When we think of American luxury cars from the 1950s, names like Cadillac and Lincoln often come to mind. But hidden behind the spotlight was a bold contender that dared to outshine them all: the 1955 Imperial. More than just a car, it was Chrysler's audacious statement of power and prestige, crafted to launch Imperial as its own elite brand. Sleeker, rarer, and even pricier than its rivals, the Imperial has since been forgotten by time. So what caused this masterpiece to fade into obscurity? And why is it time we remember it again? Imagine rolling up to the country club in 1955 behind the wheel of Chrysler's daring new statement piece, the Imperial, a 226-inch long monument to American ambition. Conceived as more than a deluxe Chrysler, this flagship was engineered to dethrone Cadillac and announce Imperial as its own prestige brand. Virgil Exner's forward look design turned heads a chrome egg, crate grille high, set headlights floating apart from the fenders, and aircraft-inspired tail fins that hinted at jet-age power. Inside, frameless hardtop windows, push-button gear selectors, and a sweeping, Astrodome, dashboard-wrapped driver and passengers in futuristic luxury. Beneath the hood, a 331 cubic inch Hemi V8 delivered 250 horsepower, ample muscle to move 5,000 pounds with effortless grace. Every switch, stitch, and strip of bright work was crafted to tell executives, politicians, and Hollywood royalty that they had arrived. Chrysler wasn't merely selling a car. It was launching an empire of its own, and this first Imperial was the opening salvo. Step back to 1955 and picture the Imperial gliding onto Main Street like a visiting spacecraft. Its striking silhouette instantly set apart from every chrome, heavy sedan of the era. Virgil Exner's forward look. Design is obvious the moment your eyes meet the massive, deep-set egg, crate grille flanked by headlamps that appear to hover above the fenders. A daring high mount placement no other American car dared attempt that year. Follow the body line rearward, and the profile grows even more dramatic. Upright tail fins, subtle precursors to the fin frenzy still to come, rise from slab, sided quarter panels and frame jewel like vertical taillights, giving the car the stance of a jet poised for takeoff. Slip into the cabin, entered through wide, pillar-less hardtop doors, and the mid-century futurism only intensifies. A sweeping Astrodome dash arcs around the driver, its back lit gauges glowing softly like cockpit instrumentation, while bright, metal trim and finely grained upholstery remind you this is a 5,000-pound luxury liner, not a spaceship prop. Technology that most competitors wouldn't offer for another decade shows up everywhere: power, assisted steering, brakes, windows, and 6-way seats, a remarkably efficient dealer, installed air conditioning option, and, stealing the show, Chrysler's push-button PowerFlight gear selectors, 4 polished buttons that let the driver choose drive, reverse, neutral, or low with the ease of changing radio presets. Beneath the mile-long hood lies the engineering masterstroke: Chrysler's 331 cubic inch firepower Hemi V8, delivering 250 horsepower and mountains of low-end torque, channeled through a robust 2-speed automatic. Torsion bar front suspension and a rigid X-frame chassis soak up mid-century concrete expansion joints, allowing the Imperial's occupants to float in near silence, while the exhaust hum ranks somewhere between baritone and thunder. Even mundane items were over-engineered. Door handles feel hewn from billet, switchgear clicks with vault-like precision, and thick carpeting muffles the road's voice. The result is a seamless blend of show, stopping style and cutting-edge convenience, a rolling preview of the luxury and tech features Americans would soon demand. In short, the 1955 Imperial wasn't just ahead of Cadillac and Lincoln, it was ahead of its own time, proving that audacious design and bold engineering could coexist in a single, unforgettable package. Every great American comeback story needs a fall, and the 1955 Imperial's plunge from lofty promise to near oblivion reads like a cautionary tale penned in chrome. On launch day, Chrysler positioned its new flagship as a peerless symbol of executive power, yet it never escaped the long shadow of its parent company. even though brochures trumpeted Imperial as a separate mark. Most buyers still encountered the car in the same showrooms where mid-priced Chryslers sat on polished floors just a few feet away. That mixed messaging diluted the aura of exclusivity Cadillac enjoyed behind velvet ropes in standalone dealerships, where sales staff treated every prospect like old guard royalty. Worse, Chrysler's marketing department failed to fan the flames of aspiration. While Cadillac staged glamorous photo shoots on Rodeo Drive and Lincoln paraded its Continentals with movie stars and presidents, Imperial's ads were sporadic, buttoned down, and oddly technical, impressive to engineers but invisible to status-conscious socialites. In an era when conspicuous consumption spoke louder than horsepower, pedigree mattered more than progress, and brand familiarity was king. The auto-buying elite of Eisenhower-era America wanted a hood ornament that announced lineage at 50 paces. Few were willing to gamble five-figure dollars on a badge they barely recognized. Economic timing compounded the problem. Post-war prosperity allowed Detroit to churn out luxury cars faster than country club parking lots could absorb them. Yet that abundance bred a conservative purchasing climate. Executives simply defaulted to what their predecessors drove. Cadillac's crest had adorned boardroom garages for decades, so risk-averse buyers saw no need to defect. No matter how seductive Imperial's push-button futurism looked in magazine spreads. Finally, Chrysler's own corporate focus drifted. By the late 50s, management redirected resources toward high-volume Plymouths and Dodges, starving Imperial of the continual design refreshes and advertising dollars that keep a halo car gleaming in public memory. Without celebrity endorsements, without NASCAR wins, and without a dedicated sales infrastructure, the Imperial's once thundering debut mellowed into a footnote. Collectors today may cherish the car's craftsmanship and innovation, but its period rivals largely eclipsed it because they mastered an art Imperial never fully learned, turning luxury into myth. And so the 1955 Imperial, brilliant yet brand blurred, quietly slipped through history's cracks, reminding us that in the American marketplace, even excellence needs a spotlight and a story the crowd can chant. While most 1955 Imperials faded into history, quietly rusting away in forgotten garages, one car's story took a turn toward redemption, and with it, the rebirth of a legend. It began not with a wealthy collector or a museum curator, but with an ordinary small-town dentist. At a local car show, he stumbled upon a dusty, non-running Imperial tucked away in a corner garage. The paint was dull, the chrome pitted, and the once lavish interior faded by time. But instead of walking away, he paused and said something simple yet profound. Something this beautiful shouldn't disappear. That single act of recognition set in motion a restoration journey that would span over 7 years. Every detail, engine, suspension, dash trim, and even the iconic Golden Eagle crest, was brought back to life with painstaking accuracy, staying true to the car's original 1955 form. The result wasn't just a gleaming showpiece, but a living tribute to an era of bold American design and quiet elegance. Today, examples like this have reignited interest in the Imperial, especially among vintage car enthusiasts who value more than just brand prestige. At top-tier concours events like Pebble Beach or Amelia Island, restored Imperials are drawing curious onlookers and growing respect from younger generations who appreciate the car's distinct styling and cutting-edge technology. A fully restored 1955 Imperial can now command anywhere from $50,000 to over $100,000, depending on its condition and authenticity. But beyond price tags, the car's rebirth represents something deeper, a rediscovery of forgotten American craftsmanship, of a time when automakers weren't afraid to take bold design risks and prioritize quality over quantity. Unlike Cadillacs that were polished by the spotlight for decades, the Imperial has become a cult favorite, not because it was once common, but precisely because it wasn't. It offers collectors and enthusiasts a chance to own something rare, meaningful, and underappreciated. In many ways, the revival of the 1955 Imperial isn't just about restoring a car. It's about reclaiming a narrative, about proving that true innovation, even when overlooked, still has the power to inspire. And as more people learn about its history and experience the Imperial in person, it's slowly earning its rightful place among America's most respected automotive icons. Pause for a moment and imagine the golden age of U.S. highways, when Route 66 was dotted with neon diners and big band jazz drifted from the dashboard radio. In that setting, the 1955 Imperial wasn't built to join the parade of tail-fin copycats. It was created to remind America why we dream in chrome. Its story carries a timeless lesson. Genuine craftsmanship and bold vision outlast fleeting fashion. Chrysler's designers poured their hearts into a limousine, class machine that put artistry, engineering, and creature comforts ahead of mass appeal. Even though the Imperial never reached Cadillac-level sales, its very scarcity became part of its allure, marking it as a choice for leaders who valued substance over status badges. Fast forward 70 years, and the car's rebirth through dedicated restorers proves that heritage can be rescued from obscurity when passion overrides price. For today's enthusiasts, especially those of us who remember family road trips before seat belts were mandatory, the Imperial's revival is more than a collector's headline. It's a reminder that innovation is sometimes underappreciated until hindsight clears the noise. Every Hemi burble and push, button gear change whispers a challenge to modern buyers. Judge a vehicle by its soul, not its sales record. The Imperial shows us that true excellence may leave the showroom quietly, but it never loses its shine. It simply waits for a new generation to uncover it. So, whether you're polishing a 55 on a Saturday morning or spotting one at a concours in Amelia Island, know that you're witnessing a rolling declaration of American ingenuity. Proof that daring design and meticulous quality, once overlooked, can still inspire fresh admiration. In the end, the Imperial's lasting message is clear: when innovation meets heart, history eventually takes notice, and the road always makes room for a masterpiece. If this story of the 1955 Imperial stirred something in you, whether it's nostalgia, admiration, or simple curiosity, don't let it end here. Share your thoughts, memories, or even your favorite forgotten classic in the comments below. Let's celebrate the beauty of what once was and remind each other that true value never fades. It only waits to be rediscovered. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss more inspiring stories about the forgotten treasures of automotive history.